Hi friends. Before we begin, I want to ask you something gentle, but powerful. What if one small act of kindness could change the course of a child's entire life? This isn't just a story about a teacher and a student. It's a quiet reminder of what love, understanding, and one moment of empathy can truly do. Sincere and warm. So stay with me, because this story might just change the way you see the world and the way you see yourself. Years ago, a school teacher named Mrs. Lexi in front of her new class of 5th graders. With a warm smile, she welcomed her students and said something every teacher says, that she loved all of them the same. But deep inside, she knew that wasn't entirely true, because seated right in the front row was a boy named Bo. Mrs. Lexi had seen Bo before. He kept to himself, didn't talk much, didn't play with the other kids. His clothes were messy and he always seemed a little lost. He was the kind of child teachers find hard to connect with. She would often mark his papers with red crosses and low grades, never really looking past what met the eye. One day, teachers were reviewing the files of each student. Mrs. Lexi saved Bo's file for last. When she finally opened it, what she read stunned her. His 1st grade teacher wrote, "Bo is a smart, cheerful child. Always polite, always neat. A joy to have in class." The 2nd grade teacher said, "Bo is doing well, but he's worried. His mother is seriously ill, and home life is stressful." The 3rd grade teacher noted, "Bo is struggling. His mother died recently. He tries his best, but there's no support at home." The 4th grade teacher wrote, "Bo has become very withdrawn. Doesn't show interest in school. Often sleeps during class." Mrs. Lexi felt her throat tighten. She realized how blind she had been. Not just to Bo's struggle, but to his pain. A few days later, it was Christmas. Her students brought beautifully wrapped gifts. Among them was a small package wrapped in brown grocery paper. It was Bo's. Inside was an old bracelet with a few rhinestones missing, and a half-used bottle of perfume. Some students giggled, but Mrs. Lexi smiled, put on the bracelet, dabbed some perfume on her wrist, and said, "How lovely it is, Bo." That day, Bo stayed back after class. He quietly said, "You smelled like my mom today." After he left, Mrs. Lexi cried for a long time. That moment changed her. From that day, she stopped teaching lessons and started reaching hearts. She began giving Bo extra care, believing in him, encouraging him. The more she supported him, the better he responded. By the end of the year, Bo had become one of the brightest students in the class. Years passed. One day, a letter came from Bo. He wrote that Mrs. Lexi was still the best teacher he'd ever had. 6 years later, another letter. Bo had graduated high school, among the top 3 students. 4 years after that, another note arrived. He was finishing college, and again he reminded her, "You're still my favorite teacher." Another few years later, she received yet another message. This time, he had become Dr. Bo. A doctor. Then came a final letter. Bo was getting married. He asked Mrs. Lexi if she would attend the wedding, not as a guest, but to sit in the place where his mother would have sat. Mrs. Lexi said yes. She wore the same old bracelet, the one with missing stones. She wore the same perfume, the one that reminded Bo of his mother. At the wedding, Bo hugged her and whispered, "Thank you. You made me feel special. You helped me believe I could become something." Mrs. Lexi had tears in her eyes. She whispered back, "No, Bo, you got it the other way around. You were the one who taught me how to be a real teacher." Every child carries a story. Behind their silence, behind their struggle, behind every gentle smile. When we choose to look beyond the surface and lead with empathy, We don't just change their life. We change our own. If this story touched your heart, take a moment today to appreciate a teacher, mentor, or student who made a difference in your life. Share this message with someone who believes in the power of kindness. Subscribe for more stories that inspire and remind us of the goodness still alive in the world. Comment below, who was your Mrs. Lexi?